Hey, Vaughn, how are you? Good morning.
Howdy, guys. Good morning.
Hey, you know, Valdez, our producer, I got to credit him. It was his idea. He whispered in my ear. We have Tupac as your walk up. Did you watch the Diddy doc? Have you watched that yet?
Yeah, I watched it. It was it was crazy.
Crazy, right? Were you a Tupac guy or a Biggie guy, or both?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Tupac guy, but you know the thing about those documentaries that they can paint any narrative. I'm not saying that he did it or he didn't do it. I'm just, you know, anybody can paint any narrative with any documentary.
Right. So you weren't swayed, like you didn't at the end of that just go, man, what a despicable human being. You were just watching it and was entertained.
Yeah, I was just watching it just as, you know, because I was young.
Right.
I was young, like, and you know, I was like 5, 6 years old when all that stuff was going on. So that, like, to see the picture painted that way, like it was just interesting. But I'm not swayed in any way. I'm not saying that he did it or he didn't do it.
Right.
It was just an entertaining documentary.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Did you ever get an invite to a Diddy party? Hopefully, you turned it down. If you did,
no party.
Okay.
What's the like, I don't know, biggest celeb's house you've ever been to?
I mean, you know, this is my 15th year in the NFL. I pretty much did it all. You know, I think All-Star Weekend was always great. Vegas is always great.
Who would you be in awe of? Like if you met someone though, like who would you be like, all right, this is a real idol of mine. I mean, you know, he's just a human, but this is a person that I've really always enjoyed their work.
Probably Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, really?
Oh, the physicist, the
Really?
scientist. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. You know, he always has some interesting perspectives, and you know, his thoughts on everything. I think it'd be cool to hang out and have a drink with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
So you haven't done that yet?
Which presidents did you meet when you visited the White House? I'm assuming you visited the White House when you won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we was the last team that Obama had saw with the Broncos.
Right, that's surreal, right?
We didn't go with the Rams, so.
Okay.
Guessing I know why.
Why? Because it was Trumpy?
Probably.
I don't know.
Well, they probably should have gone. In my opinion, they botched it.
They should have.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who the president. You got to go to the White House, take pictures.
Yeah.
Hey, Vaughn, I was thinking about this, man. I know you're not happy after losses. Who is? But what was that flight back from Minnesota like? Did anybody talk?
Oh yeah, I mean we always talk. You know, we got you know, the guys in the fellowship. We always, you know, watch film and, you know, kind of like, you know, just break down what happened in the game. You know, I was, you know, my thoughts was with Zach. You know, I just feel for my guy. You know, we right around the same age, and you know, I've known him, you know, my whole career. Like when you ball like that, you know, and you're always going to Pro Bowls and stuff, you kind of know the guy. But I really have grown close to him just by being on the team with him this year, and you know, he's an amazing guy, and you know, to see him get hurt like that, it really just hurt my heart. So my thoughts is with Zach, and we just kind of like talked about, you know, the road ahead, and you know, I've had 2 ACL surgeries too, and you know, just kind of like, you know, was there for him and just leaned on him.
Right.
Do you feel like he's going to attempt to come back after a devastating injury like that at his age?
I mean, I don't know, but you know, for me knowing Zach, I think he's gonna try, but I don't want to speak for him, but
right.
I don't.
It's hard because you want to end on your terms, right? You don't want to end on that damn cart.
Yeah, but it's, you know, we're talking about Zach Ertz here. He's a champion and, you know, a Hall of Famer. So I really don't know. It's still early. It was 2 days ago, but
yeah,
you know, he's gonna be all right though.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so talk about your frustration after the last game. I mean, obviously, DQ said it all. You know, just like, what can you say? Like, disappointing all the way around. I know you got a sack, so that's good, but just overall, you know, just not acceptable. I'm sure you guys all feel the same way. What's kind of going through your mind?
Yeah, it was, you know, just, you know, I just echo what DQ said, and you know, it kind of just it didn't happen like all at once. It was just kind of like, okay, they get 2 yards here, and we get another play here, and then they get the first down, and that first drive, like it was just like, you get the second down, and then we get the third down, and it's just like, oh dang, they convert on third down, like a little easy pass, and then they score, and it was like, okay, we get the ball on offense, we drop down the field, have a penalty, we get the third down again, we get the goal line,
right,
and we go for all 4 downs, and we don't convert on fourth down. And they get the ball on the 2-yard line, and then they just chip away at it, and then put together a 20-play drive, and now they up by 14. And it just happened like, gradual. And the whole time I'm thinking like, we're gonna get going at some point, and we're gonna get a stop here. It just didn't happen.
When you're in the midst on defense of a drive like that, where you're basically on the field for 20 plays, and I don't know how many snaps you were on the field there, how tired are the guys playing and play out? I always wonder, you hear announcers talk about defenses getting tired, that the offensive line has an advantage there. Is that true or not?
No, I don't think fatigue, for me, I don't think fatigue or being tired, they never slip my mind. This is this week 13, 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guys I don't think guys are tired right now. That's usually like, the first month or so in the season. Well, I was just thinking about just making a play, or, finding a way to make a play to get off the field. And it wasn't like they, it was just like we run a zone, and he find the pocket in the zone. And like, it wasn't nothing, extraordinary, like just running guys off the ball, or like, outrunning guys who were just like a little chip here, a little chip there, and they put together a 20-play drive and scored.
What's it like? Bring us inside, like in a professional huddle between plays. Sometimes you see on the sidelines, okay, you guys maybe give up a drive. You guys are kind of, maybe one guy's freaking out, yelling at the other guys. You're trying to get on the same page. When you're on the field between plays, how often at the professional level do you have guys going, "What are we doing?" You know what I mean? Like, just like being negative, really, to be honest with you. Does that happen more often than you think, or is that kind of rare during a game?
I guess, for this season, fortunately, we haven't had that. For me, like I'm just super sensitive towards that. I'm an optimistic guy, like naturally. So
right,
I'm super sensitive to that, and we just haven't had that. For me, I'm thinking about, I guess I'm delusional. I'm thinking about, okay, my play is coming. I'm about to make a play to change the game right here.
Right.
And I'm just like, trying to find my space to like do that. I'm trying to.
You're thinking about the next play.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where I can affect the play. Like it's, like I said, I guess I'm delusional. I'm like, man, I'm about to take over the game right here. This is my play. Like I'm about to make a game-changing play right here, and it just never came.
So when you say you're sensitive to that, when you hear that kind of thing in years past, are you the kind of guy that then steps up and says, "Hey, stop! We gotta stay together," or do you just let guys vent?
So it's, every guy on the team is different, and me being a team guy, I know like, which guys are which, and you treat everybody with respect, but you don't treat everybody the same, and you just got to know how to deal with whoever it is. And it could be like, hey, you pull a guy to the side and say like, hey, like, there's other ways to do that. Like when you talk like that and people hear it, like it just creates like this ripple effect. There's multiple ways to address it. And in years past, I might, before the game, after the game, or like, hey, pull him to the side right there, or like, hey, like it just depends, and every case is different. But fortunately this year we haven't had any of that.
We're joined by Von Miller, Washington Commanders edge rusher. So what was your reaction to seeing Jaden take the hit? He grabs his elbow, makes his way over to the sideline. Take us through your reaction. And then also, what's it like when you're on the defense and somebody gets a pick? Are you immediately, like, is everybody just like searching for the quarterback, trying to block the quarterback and take him out of the play?
So I'll start with Jaden. Like, of course we were all tuned in. It was fourth down. We threw a screen. Van Ginkel is notorious for picking off screens. Like, yeah, he probably got 6 of those in his career. So immediately, like when I saw him knock the ball in the air, I knew it was like intercepted. And we grab our helmets, and you see like Jaden run after the ball, and you see Terry chase him down, and Jaden got like pushed and fell on his elbow. And initially, I didn't think it was like, because it was just like it didn't look too bad. It didn't look too bad, but he had already injured the elbow. And then he kind of grabbed at it, and he got up and came off the field. He's like, immediately you go to say, all right. Everybody's like, he's all right. And yeah, so if we get an interception, I'm just trying to find the clearest guy to block. If it's offensive lineman, cool, running back, cool. I'm just trying to shield to create a lane so my guy can get in the end zone.
You're not looking for the skinniest, scrawniest guy out there.
No, I'm not searching for a quarterback.
Right.
Have you ever lost 8 straight as a pro?
It's crazy because I was talking about this the other day. I think ever in my life, I've lost 8 straight or 11 games in any season that I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
And even though it's tough and it's adversity, like I just, I like to find beauty in everything. And, I was talking to some of the guys, and, you just kind of find that space to like talk to guys one-on-one and just like, hey, like, as football players, especially at the pro level, you kind of get attached to outcomes, and wins kind of become part of your identity. I know, especially for me, winning Super Bowls and playing in big time games, you kind of like, hey, this is what I do. This is who I am. Like I play, and like this is part of my identity. Like I'm a champion. I'm a winner. But at that same point, like you can't like let losses become part of your identity. Like just because we lose, though, like I'm not a loser. Like it's just a tough patch right now, and we're just going through it. You got to kind of find the beauty in everything and just find whatever lesson is to be learned and just apply it to your life.
But I mean, obviously, the first time you've been through something like this is it to the point where you have to try something drastic, something totally different, or is it more back to the fundamentals? That's always the answer. Back to the fundamentals.
Me, I'm probably closer to the coaches than I am like the players. Like, this is my 15th year in the league, and I've been around all different types of amazing coaches. And the ones that have always like, stuck with me, and the lessons that I've learned with those coaches is, we're gonna coach it up in the off season. We're gonna coach it up in training camp. Obviously, it's always something to coach, and it's always something to get better at. But I'm not big into overcorrecting. I feel like the corrections should be learned like during OTAs, training camp, when we put the defenses in, when we scheme the defense. But as far as like changing our whole scheme and like changing things drastically, like I'm not a fan of overcorrection. Like this is the way we came in, this is the way we're gonna come out. And especially from a leadership position, like whenever you have the opportunity to be a GM or front office exec or coach or whatever it is, like if I'm gonna go out my way. I'm not gonna go out trying to take advice from somebody else or like trying to change everything. And then if I end up going out, like I went out listening to somebody else. If it's not gonna work for me, I want it to be on my terms. And we got great coaches here. We got great guys in the front office, and we got great players too. For some reason, it just didn't come together for us. But we still got a lot of great players, and we still got the ability to make great plays. And I got 4 games left. If we're gonna go out, man, I'm going out swinging. I'm going out trying to, take a leg or an arm or somebody with me. I'm trying to. We play the Cowboys and the Eagles, and they got hopes of going to the playoffs. I'm trying to take them out with me. If I'm not making the playoffs, I want y'all not to make the playoffs too. So
I like
that's just how I go about it.
Joined by Von Miller from the Washington Commanders, had a sack in the last game. Just curious, because you are very complimentary about this coaching staff. I want you to give me quick descriptions, and I'm going to start with some of the guys that have coached you in the past. What was Wade Phillips like?
So, man, Coach Phillips, he was, old school, gonna run man. We're gonna blitz the guys. We're gonna depend on our star players to make plays. At that point in career, it was me, DeMarcus. I was in my prime. Just let me rush. We had to run games. Got the no-fly zone. Let them cover.
Let's go Sean McDermott.
Sean McDermott got a wrestling background. Hard-nosed coach. But at the same time, he was pretty cool. Like he had when you watch him on TV, you're like, man, that's a tough, hard-nosed coach. But like he was one of the guys all about winning though, and all about getting the most out of guys. The expectation in Buffalo has been there for a long time, and he does a great job of really driving down anxiety and not, having each game be the same bite size.
And then DQ as a defensive coordinator.
DQ, man, he's a great leader. He's had a lot of championship guys. He's been 3 Super Bowls, maybe more. I'm just aware of 3 Super Bowls, and he kind of has the same feel let the guys figure it out. He's a great leader of men. He just, man, you just feel this aura around him. You just want to be better, and you just want to play better for him. He gives the guys a space to, do what they need to do. He trusts the guys, and I think all the coaches that he has up underneath him respect him in that same way. And it's just, man, it's just unfortunate that we're not able to get the wins to kind of complement his coaching style. But he's an amazing coach.
Von, when you finally call it quits, would you rather coach, be like a defensive coordinator?
He said GM, remember?
Or do TV?
I'd rather do TV, man. These guys, man. I don't know. If I was a coach on this, if I'm going through adversity, I start, hey guys, y'all go get me fired, man. And listen, I'm gonna make sure y'all go out before me. Back when I was playing, I had, we did this, we did that. I had Champ Bay. It's just that's just me, and I don't have that. I don't have the patience that these coaches that they possess.
But you could see yourself doing TV.
Yeah, I can see myself doing TV. I've been watching. If I'm a coach, listen, I've been watching y'all for 16 months, and I'm telling you, all you gotta do is do this, and you're gonna be a Pro Bowl player, All-Pro player, and then they go out there and do the complete opposite. I'll probably snap.
How would you deal with Jalen Hurts, who had an interception and a fumble on the same play?
All right.
Yeah, it's like those. I think all the great players too. They just have this. It's like a gift and a curse. They can only see it from their lens. You first immediately say, okay, I would have did it like this, instead of having the patience to. And then the patience to be able to give them the tools to be able to do it their way. And all the great coaches that I've been around have been able to have that and possess that. And I'm just aware I don't have that.
No.
Von, we'll talk to you again next week. Hopefully it's after a win against the Giants. We'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all.